This is Coogan Cassius for iFilm London. We're at the... Start again. This is Coogan Cassius for iFilm London. We're at your call for Sunday Rumble, the Miranda Carter show. With me, I've got trainer to Hughie Fury and Tyson Fury. Peace, Fury. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
Been an eventful week for you.
As always is.
You should be... well, we should be up in Manchester. A lot of people should be up in Manchester, but it is what it is. I mean, obviously, no one's a stranger to the story of what's happened. But when did you first realise, or when was you first told about this injury to David Haye?
Mick Hennessy obviously rang me up, and just while Mick was on the phone, Adam Booth came through, and he told me about what had happened. So the next morning.
What was your initial response to it?
My initial response was, you know, to say flabbergasted, to be fair, because we're in the last week of the fight, and you know, Tyson's just ticking over. You know, so for this to happen in sparring, you know, and have full-on sparring, you know, it's up to them. But I was a little bit shocked, and I just said the same to Adam. I said, it's a little bit strange. I said, why are you sparring this late? He said, well, we do that. We spar 2 or 3 days before a camp, and that was the end of the conversation, really.
Obviously, a lot of things have been suggested and all these conspiracy theories, but I mean, we're a week on from from when we first knew, about 8 days from when we first knew about this. What are your feelings now about it, and do you feel like whatever's happened is legitimate, etc., etc.? No,
you know, I don't say things unless I believe in them, and when I say something, I stand on to it. You know, I'm not interested. It might upset some public, might upset some people. I'm just giving my personal opinion. I believe it's manufactured for whatever reason. They only know it, and that's what invents conspiracy theories, because nobody knows for sure. But in my opinion, yeah, there's a lot more to it than we know. Maybe he never had a good camp. Maybe David wasn't ready, and there's a lot of money at stake here. It's a big fight for David, because obviously losing to Tyson, he probably sees himself as nowhere to go after that. So could have been something to do with that. Could have been other offers. Maybe Vitaly Klitschko's showed interest, which we know he has. He mentioned about fighting David Haye, and we know it's a fight David's always wanted. So it could be a mixture of things. So it could be any one of around that circle.
The fact that a date was scheduled relatively quickly, does that put any sort of fears you had of any wrongdoing to bed a little bit, that David didn't want the fight potentially because it's been agreed now for the 8th of Feb? So does that tell you anything?
It doesn't tell me anything. It's just another date that can be broken. You know, what is that? 8th of February. You know, it's a long time, which, to be fair to David Haye, that's what he needs, because it's a cut. So it's going to need time to heal, 6 weeks, and then you've got Christmas on top of it. So it would be around that time. But you know, look, I can't. You know, what do you want me to say about it? You know, it can pull out anytime. Anything can happen between now and the 8th of February. So what I have suggested to put in this contract, so as I've got peace of mind that Tyson's going to be fighting David Haye, and I can say to my nephew, listen, you're going to get the fight, because he told me all along he's not going to get in there until he's in there. And I was telling him, you know, look, they've took the fight, it's going to happen. So, you know, we've got to be confident this fight is going to happen, because, look, we all know how difficult training camps are and what you've got to put the fighter through. So we want to know, cast iron, is this fight going to happen? So we're having to put forward to Mick and our lawyer who's talking with their side to put a clause in the contract. What if this fight doesn't happen? And you know, the legal department are dealing with that issue now. But we want more than just somebody's word and a sky date that this fight's going to happen.
If you was just to go by a hunch or your personal instincts about this, do you believe that come 8th of February these two men will be in the ring?
I believe it's 50-50, because I don't know what David Haye's thinking, do I? And I don't know what Adam Booth's thinking. But let me tell you this: if let's look at the ifs, what could be happening. If Vitaly Klitschko comes forward and that's a fight for David Haye, yeah, then that's a bigger fight than Tyson Fury. That's going to be more money, I'd assume. Yeah. Also, it gets David Haye straight to a world title, WBC, and David Haye would fancy that. Vitaly, who's always wanted that fight. So let's not be unrealistic. You know, if that's the case, and so that could happen. It's a bigger fight. It's for a world title, and there's a lot more to be gained from that. And also, Tyson Fury's a big risk to any fighter in the world. You know, he's right up there, regardless of what fighters say about other fighters. It's crap. You know, he's a legitimate heavyweight contender, Tyson, and he's a serious threat. So if you could just remove that threat and go straight there, then why would you not do that? Because this is what happens. We wouldn't, because when we agree to something, we'll stand onto it. But this, I suppose, is business, and it's all about money, and people do strange things when there's a lot of money involved.
A couple of weeks ago in Sheffield, Deontay Wilder, who's been sparring with David Haye, was in Sheffield when Hughie last fought.
Yeah.
And obviously they got in the ring afterwards and they had this. But then there was a story afterwards that Mick said about the fight with that was offered to the Wilder camp. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, look, it was all a little bit quick, and Mick said we might be able to salvage the show. So he said, we need a big name. So Mick said, what do you think of Wilder? I said, it's short notice. I said, but I spoke to Tyson, and Tyson said, yeah, get Wilder then, to save the show. That's as far as it went, because when Mick put it to Sky wasn't interested in Wilder for that slot. So it was just last-ditch attempt to save the show. So nobody had spoken to Wilder. Wilder hadn't even been approached. Wilder could have said, it could have been a load of things fall through, the money side, too short notice, or whatever. He wasn't even asked. It was put to us to see if we'd accept it, and we did. We accepted that fight to put forward to Sky, but Sky refused it. So that's where that's the start and the end of it. So Wilder wasn't aware of anything.
The likely chances of Tyson having an interim fight in between now and the 8th of February?
Again, it comes down to politics and lawyers and people ramming home contracts, and it depends what happens. I'm not.
Do you want him to fight before?
I'd like him to fight. Yeah, I would.
Is it not risky?
I don't think so. It depends who he's fighting, doesn't it? We're getting him a tune-up. Come on, we're not going to get him a world-class beater, are we? You know what I mean? In my terms, just get him a body, get him in there, so somebody can just get a few rounds out of. And
when would that look to be? In November?
Yeah, Tyson's ready. I spoke to him this morning. He's 18 stone 6. He's at the exact same weight he was coming in at. He's still training. He's doing his runs. He's doing his weights. He does a few circuits. He's still on his proteins and everything. But he's took his foot off. Obviously, he's not boxing. He's just went out of the gym. But he's still keeping fit. He's still keeping his condition. So we could take a fight at a week's notice. He's ready.
Obviously, you're here today with Hughie, who's just progressing along nicely. He had a little bit of a strange fight in his last fight with Shane McPhilbin, which we spoke about, but you wanted to get him out as well, more as important as well, just to keep him going. Yeah,
exactly. Well, he's up against a good kid here. Some Welsh amateur champion. He's had 8 fights. He's had 7 wins. He lost to Ian Lewisham, which is no bad thing, is it? Ian Lewisham's a good fighter as well. So this is a good fight for Hughie. These are the fights we want for Hughie now anyway, because we need fighters that's going to hit him back and prove a bit of a test. He's a big kid. He's similar size to Hughie. He's weighed in now at 17 stone 1. Hughie's weighed in at 17-12. So it's going to be an entertaining fight while it lasts.
Oh, well, listen, we'll look forward to seeing Hughie and.
Sure.
Like I said, but I said to you when I saw you there, I said to you, like, you're quite relaxed about everything. You said, well, what am I meant to do? What are you going to do? You can't jump up and scream and shout about this thing with Tyson and David.
There's nothing you can do.
It is what it is.
We're all not happy with things in life, but what do? Spit our dummy out. Can't do anything. Would crying help?
Well, if it would help, I'm sure we'd do it. But
well, exactly.
There'd be
a lot of people doing it, wouldn't they? After world, they'd be crying, wouldn't they, in the morning? So it's all irrelevant conjecture, isn't it? We can't do anything. If a man says, I'm not going in that square ring, he's not going in it, is he, for whatever reason? And he has got a genuine cut there. I don't know, listen, the cut's genuine. That's not my point. My point is how the cuts come about in the first place and the motives behind it. But, like I said, he's got a genuine cut, so it needs time to heal. He's got to train, get back into it. And listen, I wish him all the best in the world. I've got nothing bad to say about the people, really. David Haye's been a good fighter. He still is a good fighter. And Adam Boo's an exceptional trainer. And I wish him all the best, and I sincerely hope the fight can take place again. All
right. Well, Peter, listen, thank you very much for your time. Like I said, we look forward to seeing Hughie, and then look forward to seeing the next 4 months of drama with Tyson and David.
Always plenty of drama, and Tyson's here. He should be here by now. So you'll get the speech out of him, I'm sure.
Okay. Listen, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We'll speak to you soon. Coogan Cassis with Peter Fury here for iFilm London. Thank you very much.